Today we're going to be analyzing and looking at my short film. I was listening to Agua de Babar, and as I'm listening to this music, I kind of get this image of crabs in my head. Around the same time, I watched Lars von Trier's Antichrist, and this striking use of almost cinema verite, this kind of handheld, almost documentary feel. And I really wanted to put something together that was very similar to that. And the original video is really just, it was a very visual piece and a very emotional piece, but there's something missing from it. I began to deconstruct that video, and I realized very quickly that in this video, the two different crab documentaries I'd pulled from, A Race Against Time, while it had all this footage of both crabs and machines, I kind of realized the similarities between the two and the juxtaposition between crabs on one hand and machines on the other hand. And in a way, with a machine, with this, we're basically building an exoskeleton for humans, but crabs are already born with that. They already have an exoskeleton.
Left in the open, Spy Crab is now a sitting target.
And I found this to be a great allegory between mankind and technology and kind of nature versus machines. And this got me thinking with artificial intelligence on the rise and the idea of artificial intelligent artwork, that we could use this as a metaphor between the natural and the machines as a metaphor for AI and human creation. And there's a lot of feelings on artificial intelligent art. All that the AI is doing is they're pulling bits of artwork from other people and they're just remashing it and remixing it to make art of their own. And so I have this artificial intelligence write us a poem about crabs. What I wanted to make is something that AI art is often thought about as boring or stale, but I wanted to make something very eccentric and strange with this video, something that people would be scratching their heads and really trying to interpret. So as I'm in the process of editing this video, I watch another Lars von Trier film, The House That Jack Built, which is full of all these fantastic montages that incorporate David Bowie's fame. Going in to edit this video after seeing that, it was truly an inspiration. And along the way, at some point, I decided I wanted to, instead of compositing myself on top of the documentary, that I wanted to instead do a split screen. And I don't really know exactly where that came from. I mean, obviously it came from De Palma. He does it like no one else. I feel split screen is one of the most underutilized tools in the toolbox of filmmaking. But I decided I wanted to try that out. And then as I was editing this video together, I thought, instead of just showing one image, we showed two, and that way with the visuals we could say even more. And so on the right hand of the screen, a big inspiration for this, really my starting point of what I wanted this to look like was Moonrise Kingdom and kind of the narrator that comes in and gives the weather reports. And so I filmed this on a green screen, and then I composited myself on top of some other black and white footage and gave it that black and white feel and a filter over the voice to kind of give it a otherworldly, old-fashioned kind of feeling. And then on the left-hand side of the screen, we put in the images of the crabs. As I was editing this together, I realized I wanted to keep some space black in the background and just put these images of the crabs there. You know, make it interesting, make it visually interesting. And although maybe it's not a metaphor for anything explicit, or maybe it might not mean anything, I kind of just wanted to play with that visual space and see, you know, emotionally what we could do, and just kind of experiment it, because at the end of the day, this was experimental. And I think really what we got here is we got a great combination of human art and AI art, and the melding of the two. The humans are trying to replicate what the crab is able to do, much like an AI is trying to replicate what humans are trying to do. And if we look at it, it might be silly to say, oh, humans are trying to replicate the crab. We're far more advanced. And as we watch this poem here, you know, there's only a few things I wanted to point out here. I think at this part of the film, you know, as we see the crab kind of crawl into the water here, it's kind of a reversal of, you know, the creature crawling out of the water. We're seeing a creature move into the water, and it's kind of playing with that motif of life first being born and life first coming to land, but it's like the opposite of that. It's a juxtaposition, and I think a lot of this video is all about juxtaposition and reversals. You know, you have both the thesis and the antithesis in the same video. In the background, you can see about halfway through the video we changed to a color background composited behind me, and this is all about, you know, time, the evolution. We get to see this creature as it grows bigger and bigger, again something natural but also supernatural, because the creature pictured here obviously isn't real. Just another thing I wanted to mention quickly was this melding at the end of the video where the crab footage and the composite finally come together and are no longer separated. And this is also very much a metaphor between, you know, the human art and the AI art coming together. And so I just wanted to kind of make this and explain a little bit of my thought process about what went into this piece, what it might mean. I didn't obviously delve into everything, and I didn't want to completely explain everything, but I just wanted to explain a few things. And so if you have any ideas of what this meant to you, or maybe a different way that you interpreted it, please let me know. Come talk about it. I really want this to be more of a discussion, and I don't want, you know, my interpretation of my work to override your interpretation, because as soon as this goes out there, your interpretation is just as valid or even more valid than my interpretation of the work. Thank you for enjoying this video and watching it with me.
Yo!